Okay, here we go. 5 o'clock, and Indian team practice is just about to end in Dubai. Half an hour from now, the IPL schedule will be out. So action-packed day. Let's first go to Shomik Chakraborty, who is in Dubai alongside Rohit Juglan, and we will get all the updates. Gargi is playing you the stills from the practice. Rishabh Pant got a blow from and Hardik Pandya shot left knee strap, but not serious enough. He was thereafter, had an ice pack and all, but came out to bat. Let's first go to Shomik for a bit of a lowdown as to what happened, and then I will go to all my guests, Shubhayan, Bharat, and Gargi. Rohit Juglan is also supposed to join us soon. Shomik, over to you.
Okay, I just lost the internet connectivity. Now I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so the Indian team turned up for practice at the ICC academic grounds. They came at around 1 p.m. local time, and the normal practice schedule. Obviously, if day one of the India's team training drops a hint or serves an indication, it feels like that against Bangladesh in the first game, Mohammad Shami and Arshdeep Singh will be the two frontline fast bowlers to be aided by Hardik Pandya as seam bowling all-rounder. Harshit Rana also bowled at the nets. I mean, he started his stint a little late, but Shami went through his paces for about 20-25 minutes. Initially, the raider wasn't quite working, but then he got his act together. After that, he sat on the ice box, munched a banana, and took a breather. But it felt like the see the we the reporters are positioned at square of the wicket. So from that, it was impossible to detect whether he was getting any movement of the pitch or in the air. But what I can confirm, that he was bowling well within himself. Given that, it feels like the selectors have missed a trick by not including another seamer, because there is a clear nip in the air, and I don't know how the pitches at Dubai International Cricket Stadium would play, because the venue hasn't hosted an ODI for a while now. But the conditions will help. That we can confirm. The conditions, the nip in the air, that will help fast bowlers. What what has happened? Whether Siraj would have been a good inclusion, whether they should have picked Siraj, it's a dart question now, because it's water under the bridge. But I mean, fast bowlers will get help, and Shami will lead the pace attack. And naturally, the focus from our points of view, from a reporter's point of view, was on Shami. What we saw, he bowled well within himself. There was not no such major incidents at the training session. Just that a feared shot from Hardik Pandya landed on Rishabh Pant's left knee, but it was nothing serious. Uh, some ice pack and a strapping, and Rishabh was ready to go again. Otherwise, everybody, Rohit, Virat, everybody had their stints at the net, and it was a very decent practice session.
Shubhan, this whole point about one more fast bowler. Rohit Juglan was also writing in our work group that Mohammad Shami had a fairly long bowling stint. Shomik is also talking about it and says he was kind of bowling within himself. Your thoughts on that, about this one extra fast bowler? Yes, Mohammad Shami and Arshdeep Singh, but and Harshit Rana, relatively inexperienced there. Would you have liked this? Because from the understanding of the first practice session that Shomik is giving us all the updates, it seems that Mohammad Shami, yes, gradually getting himself up to speed, but from the report, it seems that yes, could have been one more fast bowler could have been handy. Shubhan?
Yes, yeah, I completely agree. One more fast bowler would have been really handy. And there are some valid reasons behind it. See, Shami, we know what he did in the past, what's his legacy is, but he's not the same Shami that we know of the past. What we are seeing right now, he's still very rusty. Even though he has been bowling since the last 3 months, he's still very rusty. He's not his pace is not up to the mark. His swing seam, his that extra zip is not there. Uh, and when it comes to Arshdeep and Harshit, both of them are how many they have played collectively 10 or 11 ODI matches. So there's relative inexperience there. So another pace bowler would have been, in my opinion, would have been very handy. You are carrying five spinners for five Champions Trophy matches in case you qualify for the final. So that is a bit unnecessary, in my opinion. You will play your both the left arm spin all rounders, Akshar and Jadeja, and one of Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti. That is the general template of the Indian team. So do you really require a Washington Sundar? I don't think so. You could have easily brought in another pacer who could have at least given you that extra cushion of variety, or if someone you feel is not up to the mark, then you could have gone to that fourth pacer in your side. So now all the reliance will be on Hardik Pandya to deliver the job as a third pacer mostly, and of course you will keep your fingers crossed and you will live by the hope that Shami delivers and Arshdeep and Harshit, despite their inexperience, deliver. So another pacer was necessary in my opinion.
Show me two questions. One, Rohit and you were both writing that Shreya Iyer and Hardik Pandya were looking very good at the net. So give us some details. Hardik Pandya and Shreya Iyer and their batting. And what about the two big boys, Rohit and Virat? Give us some more details. And also, second part to the question: are fans allowed? What's happening? Were there fans? Because some of the videos which you guys had sent of the Indian team entering, there were some fans waiting for autographs, and Varun and people were signing autographs. What is the kind of passion there? Are people coming? Give us a detailed lowdown from on ground before I go to my two other guests.
See, at the point of entrance, fans are allowed, not at the practice venue, at the point of entrance. And we spoke to a young kid. His name is Athar. He took autographs from some players, Hardik Pandya and others, and he spoke to us. We sent a video clip of him also. Another one was asking if by any chance he would be allowed in to catch a glimpse of the Indian team's practice session. But then again, they are only accredited reporters who are they have been handing out, they have been given this uh, blue wristbands. Only those are allowed inside, and only reporters are allowed
Can
inside.
we make it full screen? Get him full screen.
This blue wristband, only accredited reporters will be getting this blue wristband, and they are allowed inside. It's sort of a training session in tranquility, which the Indian team won't mind. And the practice session, I can assure you, it was very intense. Talking about the net form, Shreya Iyer, not only Shreya Iyer or Hardik Pandya, Shubman Gill was timing the ball beautifully at the net, be it while taking throwdowns against fast bowlers, against spinners. Subman Gill looked to be in sublime touch. Excellent. Rohit Sharma tried a couple of pulls. One didn't connect, he couldn't connect properly. The other one came off the meat of the bat. Virat Kohli had a long session against the fast bowler at one net before switching to a different net to face spin. But I'm the most impressed with Shubman Gill's net form. He looked absolutely sublime.
Bharat, Shubman Gill found his mojo in this format. Clearly his best format at the moment from all three before I ask Gargi.
Yeah, he's like ODI cricket's Badshah because he averages 60 in this format. That itself tells everything you would want to know about this particular player. Is some 700s already, and one of them is a double turn. So basically, he knows how to pace the innings in this particular format, and that is the key factor when it comes to modern day ODIs. He knows when to change gears, when to shift gears. Yeah, he has a wide range of shots, and in white ball cricket, especially in ODI cricket, you don't see the ball moving around much up front. And also, obviously, two balls are used now. So even in the old ball, you don't get much movement. So when you consider all that, considering how skillful he is as a batter, It doesn't really surprise me in ODI cricket is doing that well. He's a very good timer of the ball, obviously. And this is the format I think currently it really suits him, unless and until he improves his technique against the moving ball, and then he might go to do well in Test cricket as well.
Gargi, a lot of people are asking some. Let me quickly answer a couple. Some people asking distance from Burj Khalifa, etc. Pretty far, my friend. Very far. Burj Khalifa next to the Dubai Mall Stadium is very far. At least about an hour and more on public transport. Anything else would have been, taxi would be what? 40 minutes, Shubhan? 40 minutes? 45 minutes? Something like that.
30 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30-40 minutes on a good traffic day, because Dubai also now, it's, by the way, Sunday is a break day, not Friday, because that has changed a couple of years back. So that's the distance. Ripon Ghosh Academy to the Dubai Stadium, not too far at all, not too far. So that's kind of okay. India playing at Dubai while others are playing at batting paradise Pakistan. Do you think India has disadvantage or advantage? Amit Gargi, take that.
We haven't seen Dubai's pitches yet, and it could be anything, at this point. But what is he saying? That we are playing at a batting paradise. Oh, acha, others are playing at batting paradise while we are playing in Dubai. Uh, I think the biggest advantage that India has at this point is the fact that they're playing their league matches all in one venue. I think that's the biggest advantage that India has. You can't obviously compare Pakistan pitches versus Dubai pitches, because comparing apples to oranges. So at this point, when we talk about advantage, if there is any that India has, it's definitely that they're going to play all their league matches in one venue, and that's going to help the players actually acclimatize a lot more. When we talk about the batters especially, I think that would help a lot. And I'm not sure how much dew factor is there, but guessing with the weather, Shomik has been telling us that the weather has been pretty good. So I'm not sure if dew will be that much of a factor, but still, India does have an advantage, I would say.
Can I just add a small point about pitches? Yeah. So the thing about Dubai pitches, so obviously I watched a bit of it during the Women's World Cup. It's not just about the pitches. So sometimes due to external factors, it seems to swing a little more there. Rosemary Mayer swung it quite a lot when New Zealand played against India in that Women's World Cup. And curators tend to leave a little more grass. That is what I saw even in ILT20. May not be the case in every single game, but if it's a fresh pitch, I think you expect a little, just at least a hint of grass on the surface. So that could be the reasons why the pace bowlers have been doing well in the recent past. One is the external factor, and maybe just a hint of grass if it's a fresh pitch.
Shumik, other details from the practice session. Again, something that stood out in comparison to Australia. Rohit and Gautam Gambhir conversations. We did see twice at least in Australia long conversations between Rohit and Gautam, once in Melbourne, once in Sydney. But there was a kind of disconnect. What is the body language here? Are you seeing captain coach intense, passionate, body language good, conversations happening, Morne Morkel joining in? Give me these lowdowns from practice, because that's the point about being in a practice session, watching closely what is going on. Before I go back to Shubhayan, I think Shubhayan has to go in another 3-4 minutes. So you give me this, and then I'll ask Shubhayan one more question and let him go for Hindi.
Body language has been pretty professional, I would say. I mean, Rohit and Gautam Gambhir had a conversation before the start of the practice session. And then Rohit had a conversation with the entire coaching staff. It's pretty professional. Nothing sort of emotions attached to it. It's very matter of factly. The whole thing is very matter of factly. And they just went about their task like thorough professionals. And that is it. I didn't see any banters or light-hearted banter stuff like that. Everybody was sort of very serious. Obviously, a couple of players sometimes sported a smile also. I mean, it is like uh, Gautam Gambhir, the way he keeps his exterior, like he seldom breaks into a smile, and uh, it sort of is proving to be contagious. this Indian team, they are going through their paces in a very matter-of-factly manner.
Shubhan, this will be a big one. Huh? This will be a big one. Happy dressing room, winning dressing room. If the two of them are able to get going, Gautam and Rohit, this will be a major thing for the team, because in Australia this was an issue. At least as the series progressed, from what you guys reported, what we saw, the two drifted apart. If Shomik, from what he's saying, that okay, they are together, etc., that will make a serious impact. But this will also depend on how India fares. The Bangladesh match and the Pakistan match. If you win, everything will all of a sudden be hunky-dory and everyone will flock together. If you don't, then things might just get different, Shubhan.
Absolutely. See, Bangladesh game, I'm expecting them to win. If they lose Bangladesh game, then I think the entire campaign will go downhill. But I think I'm expecting. See, the big one is India Pakistan. As long as you win that one, I think everything will be fine. If you lose India Pakistan, then I think people will again start questioning things, and the camaraderie between Gambhir and Rohit will again be at square one, what we saw in Australia. If they win that one, I think the focus will be to win the New Zealand game and then proceed to the semis and final. It is a short tournament, so I don't think you will have a long time to discuss about these things and uh, and dwell into things which are out of your hands, like relationships between coaches and players. It is a back to back, pretty much back to back tournament. You win the first one, you know that you are going to the semi final. You will have a long gap, but again, if you win first two games, I don't think there will be any contentious point to have a disagreements or have a relationship breakdown between coach and captain. Semi-final, final, it is within very like 4 5 days. So you focus on those two games. If you win the tournament, then I think people will forget what happened against New Zealand and Australia, and they will only focus on celebrating things. But it will be important. It will be important to win the first two games. Puriya.
Quick question, Haris Raf, what's the update? Have you got any
Haris-
update on Haris Raf?
He's still not ruled out of the Champions Trophy. They are still waiting on him. Akif was someone who was Mohammad Akif was brought in the Champions Trophy, but I think PCB are hopeful that Haris Rauf will recover. Otherwise, for Champions Trophy, we might see another spinner come into play in as per the technical rule of the ICC tournaments. I think for now they are waiting on Haris Rauf and expecting him to be fit for the Champions Trophy.
Okay, Shubhan, I'll let you go.
Thank
I
you.
know you've got to get on to the Hindi. Thank you very much for joining us. Bharat, coming to this point that Shomik was making about team camaraderie and bonding and all of that. Set it up for me. I mean, after Australia, this tournament compared to other teams for India, for the future of this management, Rohit Sharma, Gautam Gambhir, this management and the bonding between these fellows, assuming Rohit wants to continue in the 50 over format, red ball is different, absolutely critical. Also, while a lot of our people have said, Rohit Juglan, Shubhayan, Shomik have said that Gautam is secure. The rest of the management, at least for the England series, is secure. Unless things go well in the Champions Trophy, Bharat, the pressure on these people will also start to mount a huge deal. For example, if India doesn't make the semi-final, Gautam Gambhir will start to face real heat. Bharat Ramraj.
Yes, it is pretty much a big series, not just for Gautam Gambhir, obviously also for Rohit Sharma. To lose to New Zealand 3-0, that is something that has never happened before in terms of three-match test series for Indian team at home. Then to go to Australia, the way they played after winning that first test, it was demoralizing. So from that perspective, and also obviously when a team starts to lose, there will be question marks about the team bonding. There will be question marks about whether there is unity. It has happened in the past with every single team. When a team starts to lose, then all these things come out. So this was not something that was surprising to see that there was not much unity, not much team bonding. So from that point of view, it was good to see that from the reports that there seemed to be some kind of team bonding at the start of this Champions Trophy. And India need to win. Obviously, the first match, the first couple of games, they need to win. So winning is a habit. Once you start winning, then everything will be forgotten. So there will be naturally team unity. So India have done some good build-up. They thrashed England 3-0. So that is something that would have really given some fillip to the Indian side. And then if they start well in the Champions Trophy, obviously expect them to beat Bangladesh. And then if they go on to beat Pakistan, then everything will be different. But that's one side of the story. The other side of the story, somehow India lose to Pakistan. I'm expecting them to beat obviously Bangladesh, but if they go on to lose to Pakistan, then it could be downhill from there, especially for someone like Rohit Sharma, because every single day you see a lot of people saying, why is he still in that particular squad? Leave alone the test cricket. They're even thinking about ODI cricket. So it's very, very, very important for Rohit Sharma, to an extent Virat Kohli as well, because he hasn't really looked good in across formats. So yeah, it's very, very big, this Champions Trophy for the Indian team compared to some other countries from South Africa, England, New Zealand, Australia. Compared to them, this is a huge tournament for the Indian team, for the Indian players and coaching staff.
Shomik, a lot of people joined late and some of them are asking about the Rishabh Pant injury. You've already mentioned it is not serious. You've mentioned that there's no problem. Can you just give a little bit of detail as exactly what happened before I go to Gargi again?
No, Pierre shot from Hardik Pandya landed on his left knee, and he was visibly in pain. He limped off the field, and ice pack was put on the affected area, and he had a strapping. But after a sort of 10 minutes, he was ready to go again. He went out to bat at the nets. So it is nothing serious, and nothing should. I mean, people shouldn't be concerned at all.
And some of them asking about a little bit more on Shubman Gill. Did you've already spoken about him? Did Arshdeep Singh bowl? You've spoken
Yeah.
about Shami bowling. You've spoken about others. Did Arshdeep Singh bowl? What kind of rhythm? Give us some more details on Arshdeep Singh also.
In fact, Shami and Arshdeep bowled in tandem. While Shami concentrated on hitting the good length area more, Arshdeep was a bit back of a length. He was cramping the batsman for room. And I mean, he was bowling, it looked like he was pretty sharp at the nets. They bowled in tandem. They were only after their stint was done, Harshit Rana came in. So as I said at the start of the show, that it feels like if day one serves a hint, then it feels like Harshdeep Singh and Mohammad Shami would be India's two frontline fast bowlers in the game against Bangladesh, to be aided by Hardik Pandya. This what it looks like from day one at the nets. And Harshdeep looked to be in good rhythm. As far as Shubman Gill is concerned, and this is something new in the sense this has happened off late. Earlier, range hitting was confined to T20 cricket only. But what we have been seeing since Sri Lanka series, I mean, since Sri Lanka tour, in 50 over cricket, range hitting has been brought as part of the Nets roster. And Shubman Gill, whether he did range hitting, whether he was facing the bowlers, spinners, fast bowlers, spinners, taking throwdowns, I mean, the ball was flying off his bat. He looked to be in sublime touch.
Vaibhav Taragi, can the entire Rev Sports team go to Dubai? No, my friend, not everybody gets accredited. There are certain number of accreditations to be given. I mean, if the entire team starts going, then who does the conclave? The conclave is 20 times the size of whatever. So no, but what we will do is 4 of us will be in Dubai. Shomik and Rohit Juglan are already there. Bharat Ramraj and Vaibhav Tripathi will join. Keeping in mind our vision of promoting and encouraging younger people to go as well. So Vaibhav gets his first international opportunity. Gargi is going to come to Kolkata and be in the studio with me, and we will be preparing for the conclave. So delighted for that, because we will all be together building up to the conclave as our colleagues, 4 of them report on the India, Bangladesh and India, Pakistan from Dubai. So that's the plan. Gargi Rao, before I go back to Shomik Chakraborty, Varun Chakravarti or Kuldeep Yadav? What's the starting thing? This is a good one. Both attacking spinners. I want to know from Shomik if both bowled and how did they look. But before that, Gargi, Varun or Kuldeep, and why?
This is a very tricky question because both bring a sort of skill set that is unique in itself. But at this point, going by form, purely by form, I would say Varun Chakravarti, because I don't think we've seen a spinner bowling this consistently, being this penetrative consistently in a long while. And of course, there's also Ravindra Jadeja, who had picked up. Who had picked up a lot of wickets in the England series, but at the same time, going by just form, I would say bring Varun Chakravarti in your team. I think at this point he can be that X factor when it comes to spin, especially on a Dubai pitch. And Kuldeep Yadav can come in later in the series as we go forward, and maybe a Varun Chakravarti needs rest, or you need some more firepower in your team and are looking for a different combination. But definitely start with Chakravarti.
Shomik, both these spinners bowled. Who bowled better? Give us a sense. If you were able to gauge what was going on, obviously you said you were watching from square of the wicket. Tough to understand, but give me a sense of the spinners, all of them.
Kuldeep had a longer stint than Varun. Varun started bowling. He was doing fielding practice. He started bowling a little late. See, the thing is that Kuldeep Yadav is India's #1 attacking spinner. Although after the Ahmedabad game at the post-match press conference, Gautam Gambhir said that Varun could be our X factor of the Champions Trophy, but I don't see Varun trumping Kuldeep Yadav, at least in the first game, as far as the playing 11 is concerned, unless Kuldeep is serving up gross at the nets, or the team management is absolutely not convinced with Kuldeep Yadav's net form. Kuldeep Yadav is going to play at least the first match. Varun might have to wait for his turn. Based on the performance in the first game, he might come into the playing 11 reckoning. But as far as my assumption, today is only the first day as regards India's net session. But as far as my assumption is concerned, India's three spinners in the first game would be Kuldeep Yadav, #1. He would be an out and out attacking spinner, and then Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel, and the two fast bowlers will be Arshdeep Singh and Mohammad Shami.
Bharat Ramraj, agree? Kuldeep Yadav over Varun Chakravarti?
Yeah, I guess that is what the Indian management would do because he's someone who is very experienced. In the past, he has picked up wickets, obviously, for the Indian team. He's a very experienced bowler. So, on that basis, they will pick him. But if you ask me as a risk taker, maybe I will think about someone like Varun Chakravarti. Simple reason is someone who is a little bit new compared to Kuldeep Yadav. Yes, he has been around for a while, but he has developed a few more variations. He has two types of leg breaks now. Even in terms of the googly, the way he's bowling nowadays, his lines and lengths, the subtle changes he makes. So people have not seen a lot of Varun Chakravarti. So maybe I would take a risk with Varun. Even if you look at the England versus India series, a couple of English batters, Jose Butler, Joe Root, they were picking Kuldeep Yadav's googly. That's obviously expected because Kuldeep Yadav has played for 11 years. So when you play for 11 years, obviously opponents will start to study your bowling. And they were definitely picking his googly. So considering all that, maybe I will take a risk with Varun. But I expect the management to pick someone like Kuldeep Yadav because of his experience that he brings to the table.
Shomik, obviously the elephant in the room. How did the two champions look? Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Break it down. How long did they bat? Virat Kohli needs some runs. Got a 50, but needs a big one, maybe 100 if he does. All of India would love that. Rohit Sharma, yes, 100, but a little bit more consistency maybe. How did the two of them look at the nets before I go back to Gargi? And yes, the IPL schedule will also be announced, so we will keep an eye on that as well. But Shomik, Rohit and Virat.
They look pretty relaxed, both of them. Pretty relaxed. I mean, in Australia, it felt like Rohit was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. It is not like it doesn't feel like that here. I mean, he looked pretty relaxed. He had a very lengthy stint at the nets. 3 nets. First, he took throwdowns. He went to face the paces. He came back to face the spinners. Similar with Virat Kohli. He sort of had a half an hour at the nets only against the paces. But the body language, if we go by the body language, it never felt like they are carrying any extra pressure. So Virat Kohli, I mean, the way he was moving his feet at the nets, the way he was moving his feet, that was very heartening. I mean, nimble. As far as his footwork is concerned, he looked very, very nimble, which is a very good sign. And see, this is the platform, this is the format they like, in the sense that obviously Virat Kohli is a legend of the game, and he is a legend of the game across formats. Rohit, despite that 2021, that phase between 2019 and 21, when he was sublime in Test cricket also, but he has more success in 50 over cricket. But then again, this is a format that that allows them to play unfettered, and I expect both of them, when India start their campaign, to be unfettered in their approach, and I hope they will be like that.
Gargi, this is music to your ears, I'm sure. Virat Kohli looking very good at the nets. I mean, all of India, for the sake of the tournament, Gargi, as brands, Rohit and Virat, if they get runs for the first game, I mean, against Bangladesh, the two of them score, or against Pakistan, the two of them score. I was having a chat with Shoaib Malik today. If the two of them score, automatically the tournament comes alive. So, from the perspective of the ICC competition, brand, broadcast, ICC, all of that, these two fellows are hugely important from the perspective of the tournament. Gargi.
I think it was much bigger than that. I think it was a question of integrity within the Indian management. When it came to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli being in the team despite not performing very well, when it comes to Test cricket, and obviously, that bad slump in Australia against New Zealand, against Bangladesh, actually translated into white ball cricket, and people sort of forgot that there was a break in the middle, and Virat and Rohit were actually performing very well in white ball cricket. People sort of forgot that and brought that bad slump into white ball cricket as well. But I think at this point it was important for Virat and Rohit both to perform, because the how do I explain this? It was on the Indian management. I think there were a lot of questions raised as to how Rohit Sharma was in the team, whether or not he deserved to be in the team. Was he in the team because he's just the captain, or just because he's a Virat Kohli, or just because he's a Rohit Sharma? Those were the questions being raised by the fans, and at that point, it was much bigger than cricket. It was much bigger than an ICC trophy or a Champions Trophy. It was important for the sake of Indian cricket and the Indian management and the dressing room to sort of justify themselves and justify Rohit and Virat's place in the team. And thankfully, that 100 and that 50 came at the right time. It came right before the Champions Trophy started. We did not see a Virat and a Rohit going in with bad form. I think a lot of questions or a lot of critics have been silenced in that sense. But again, their performances will be very, very crucial going into this tournament. It is about justification of why these two superstars are still in the team despite bad performances. Of course, now it has been reinforced by those two good performances, but at the same time, if they walk into the team and don't do well in the Champions Trophy, there will be serious questions raised, which we do not want happening. And it's been, really nice listening to Shomik telling us about how well, obviously, Virat Kohli has looked in the nets. He looked good in Australia as well. He never looked bad. We saw that. It was just that one delivery was constantly troubling him. He was constantly poking at it, stabbing at it. But at this point, like you said, when it comes to competition, I think it's just heating up and it's going to make things spicier.
But Gargi, Rohit, I mean, all said and done, Rohit had just one bad game in this format. Even in Sri Lanka,
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Even in Sri Lanka, he was the team's highest run scorer on the treacherous
exactly.
Premadasa pitches. He just had one failure before he scored another 100. So we need to dehyphenate his Test form and ODI form.
That's what I said, right? That people forgot about all of that when the BGT happened.
Yeah,
that's the point that she was making. Bharat, last closing comments, because what we will do is we'll all take stock of the IPL schedule and then maybe join back at 7 o'clock for a quick half an hour recap on the IPL schedule and what's happening. I mean, Shomik can file his copy by then. Quick comment from you, Bharat, and I'll close with Shomik. Rohit Virat looking good is not just good news for India, as Gargi said. Maybe we were kind of being a tad too harsh on them on this particular format. They justified their place always, but we were criticism. There was a lot of criticism. Everybody was critical, also because they did not look nice. I mean, Rohit, for example, in Australia did not look nice. Whether it was red ball, that's a different matter. But he was not looking the part. Well, maybe that was one of the reasons. But yeah, this format, Bharat, both of these fellows, absolutely no way can anybody doubt them.
Yes, in this format, obviously Virat Kohli is the king. You don't score 50 hundreds if you're not great. So, if someone who has 50 hundreds in this format is mostly look good in good touch, barring that one series in Sri Lanka where he kind of struggled. So, expect him to do well in this format. He's very good at pacing the innings. Yes, one has to remember these two are not getting any younger. That's always there. So obviously their movements should be a little bit slower, something that one can't change because it is the rule of nature. So that would be there. But in this particular format, even Rohit Sharma is really good. He's been a very good cricketer. He's been a legend of the game in this particular format. So maybe we were a little bit harsh in that sense. But again, as you noted, Rohit Sharma in particular in Australia, he was little late on the ball. That is something that will put question marks in your head, whether his reflexes are slowing down, whether maybe his body movements is slowing down a bit when it comes to how it is taking those signals from the brain. So that is something that is always there. Even with regard to Virat Kohli, doesn't play shots of the back foot now. He doesn't play the square drive. He doesn't play the cut. He doesn't play the punch. So obviously somewhere the rule of nature is affecting him as well, because maybe his body is slowing down a bit. But in this format, both of them are legends of the game, and we still expect them to come good in this particular Champions Trophy.
Shomik, I'll give you the last words on this particular show. Overall, if you have to sum up the practice session, intensity-wise, commitment-wise, body language-wise, relaxed is already the word that you have used quite a few times. You happy with what you've seen?
Yeah, I am happy with what I have seen. In terms of body language, the box was ticked. In terms of intensity, the box was ticked. In terms of players getting fair amount of decent nets time, the box was ticked. So the way India went about their task on day one of their practice session is Dubai, it is good. And what I like the most is the matter of factly manner. I mean, it was pretty serious, and I mean, it's about very professional. It's about very professional. Although personally, I believe, as a reporter, personally, I believe nets and the practice is more of an individual thing, because I have seen MS Dhoni barely training on the match eve or 2 days before the match, barely going into the nets. But he was a match to match player. But there are players who needs a decent amount of nets time to get into the group. Practice is it's very much of a match. I mean, very much of an individual thing. But collectively, going by the body language and what happened in Australia, collectively now things look a, a lot better. I don't know what will happen after 23. A lot will depend on the outcome of the game against India and Pakistan.
Very, very rightly said. Very rightly said. I'll end the show here. Shomik, Gargi, Bharat, Shubhayan, who joined us, Rohit for all his updates. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us and commented. Clearly, I mean, from yesterday, once our team landed, great to see the kind of engagement that we are seeing across the platforms, and you will get a lot more of Champions Trophy. As I said, Bharat Ramraj and Vaibhav Tripathi joins the team day after tomorrow. So for the Pakistan game, you will have a lot of on-ground presence from Rev Sports, Bangla, Hindi, English. So plenty to do. Gargi will join me here in the studio. We will go massive. We are going to do a India-Pakistan conclave on the 19th with a lot of interesting content coming up. IPL schedule, I'll leave it to Gargi and Trisha to decide on the live show time or what the plan is as far as programming is concerned. For the moment, that's all we have. Shomik, thank you very much for joining us. Look forward to your piece. Gargi, thank you. Bharat, thank you. And to everyone watching, thanks for your company. Join you soon.